Hey, it's Neil from Walters Appliance, and today we have a Samsung dryer that we're going to install a side vent kit. The customer wanted the dryer to vent towards the right, so basically you got to take the whole dryer apart and put in the kit. There's two screws at the back for the top cover, both Phillips. Kind of just lifts back and up, and there's four screws on the top to hold the control panel. They're all Phillips also. Okay, and once you get those out, you can just lift the control panel up and gently put it on the top. Then there's three screws that hold the front on. Okay, and then there's two screws towards the bottom of the door jamb. They're a little bit different. They're Phillips also, but they have washers around them. Okay, so once you got those two screws out, there's just two tabs to hold it. You can see that little rectangular piece there. You just push down on that metal. Okay, and then you have to take the top off because we have to completely take the dryer out. So I believe there was four screws. They're Phillips also. I think everything was Phillips except for the 5/16 self-tapping screw I used. Okay, so there's the panel. There's two wiring harnesses. Okay, and then that's me disconnecting the moisture sensor. Okay, and that's the lint trap. So there's three screws for that. Phillips also. So we can just rest that on the side. I like to keep those screws together. Now there's four screws that hold this bulkhead in, and that has to come out, and then we can actually get to the vent kit. Okay, so that just lifts up and out. There are some wires on the top, so just be careful when you're taking that out. Okay, so that's out now. I'm just going to rest it on the side here. Okay, so now we got to take the drum out. So you got to take the idler pulley, or sorry, the belt off the idler pulley. That's just me looking at it. You can't really see what you're doing anyway. So just put the two hands in there, disconnect that, and then the whole drum can come out. Okay. So this is the side vent kit, part number DV-2A/XAA. And it's the same kit for all Samsung dryers, I believe. Okay, so we're looking for the one that says front. And you can see that tab in the center. To put a right-handed vent kit in, you have to, or maybe for all of them, you have to lift that tab up. I'm just starting it with a screwdriver so I can grab on to it with my channel locks. And then you'll see me just bending it straight up. So bend it straight up for 90. There's a little bit of give there, so it doesn't have to be completely perfect. And then we're going to go for the vent kit that says front. Okay, there it is. So you can see that little hole there. Just line that up with the tab. There's a spot where it goes in perfectly. So we'll just put that on there. And it's Phillips again. So I'll use my little stubby here to tighten the screw in. Okay, and that's just me tightening it up. Okay, after that, we are going to put the 90 in to bend it out to the right hand side here. So you can just see me lining that up. And then there's another one that says right hand. So that heating element is in the way. So you are going to take that heating element out. There's two screws that hold it in, right? And that's the right hand kit. And so there's one screw there on the side and one on the top. I think you can see it better when I'm putting it back together. Okay, once you've got those two out, gently put the heating element on its side. Okay, there we go. So I don't think it said so in the instructions, but I'm going to put aluminum tape on both those joints. Not duct tape, aluminum tape. Okay, that's me putting the aluminum tape on. I'm going to do both of them. I don't think I showed it here. Okay, so I'm putting the heating element back on, and you can see that I've done both joints there. Okay, so that's one screw on the side there, and one screw on the top. Okay. So the side needs to be screwed down. I don't think it came with a screw, but I'm using a 5/16 self-tapping screw. I always have these handy for situations like this. All right, so that's installed properly. Most important part is when you're putting this back together is the belt and the drum. Put that back in with the idler pulley. I'll make up another video showing you how to do the idler pulley. But just turn that to make sure it's in properly and then have a look under to make sure that the belt's on the idler pulley. You don't want to put the belt in upside down on this. Okay, that's connecting the moisture sensor again. And you can see one of the wires for that control panel. So that would be actually for the light, and then the other communication would be through the control board on the left-hand side there. Yeah, Samsung's got these little ties, are kind of neat. They kind of hold the wires in place so they don't get caught anywhere, especially when the drum's like rotating. Okay, so that's me putting the dryer back, and that's the door switch. Okay, so you can see some of the screws I'm putting back in from the top there. And there's some more screws for that top there. Okay, that's pretty much it. It comes with a plastic cover for the back, makes it look nice and pretty. And that's pretty much it. And I think I just show the final product at the end. Another repair for Walter's Appliance.